Alright, you're welcome. In this video we're going to continue on with box model. In the previous video we showed you how to use the box model to style your text or create a box around your text. We created the padding, we created the margin, and of course we created the border, and we used our margin to move our box, our second paragraph, more to the right. Okay, so in this particular video we are going to be using our box model to style our image. So we're going to be adding an image to our HTML document first. Okay, and in one of our previous tutorials we had dealt with adding image to HTML. In HTML we did that, but we did not style it using our CSS style sheets. So we're going to be doing that in this video. We're going to create an image in HTML and we'll style it using CSS. So let's get right to it. Like you already know, we start off with your angle bracket inside your HTML document, and the tag for creating an HTML document is the img. So this is kind of like a placeholder for your image, and I'm sure you remember it does not have a closing tag, but there's we're going to have a small deviation to this. In order for us to be able to style it in CSS, we are going to create a class for our img tag, and we're simply going to call that class image1, and we'll put that in quotes, and then we're going to specify the source of our image, the source, and that will be equals to, let's just first of all go to where our image is. And our image is in our website folder. Always remember to put your image in your website folder, and the name of the image is applemax1.jpg. so we're simply just going to type applemax1.jpg. okay, we'll put that in quotes, and then we'll close off our angle brackets. Okay, this is all we need in our HTML document. We're going to save this. Let's keep this open so that we'll see what it looks like, and we'll refresh here. Okay, there seems to be a problem with our image. I think we may have misspelled something. Okay, he's here. We did not put an opening quote here. Okay, so like I said in one of our previous videos, any little error can just mess up your code, so you have to be able to notice your error quickly enough. So we'll save this and we'll go back and refresh now, and this should come up. Okay, and so we'll have to maximize for us to see our image, and the original size of this image is really large. And in our previous tutorial, when we talked about images in HTML, I told you that you could either resize your image using HTML, or you could use Microsoft Paint to resize your image. But here in this video I want to show you how to use CSS to restyle your image. Remember, we created a class for our image and the value was image1, so we're going to be styling against our value, which is image1, and you start that with a period or a dot or a full stop, and simply type image1, create your squiggly bracket, and we'll type width. So we are creating the width for our with a width property for our image, and I'm going to call this 450 pixels. That's our width for this image, and we'll create a height property for our image, and it will be 400 pixels, so that it will show and display better on our screen. And we'll close this off with a squiggly bracket. I'm going to save this and we'll hit refresh, and this should look better now. Much better, right? Okay, so we can see that by default your image appears on the left. An HTML document is displayed left. That's how your browser displays image. But what we want to do is to center this image. Okay, we want to put this image in the middle, and we're going to be doing that using our margin property. Okay, we're going to be doing that using our margin property. And how you do that is to first of all specify the way you want your image to be displayed. You simply just type display. Okay, you put your column, and then you will write block, and you put your semicolon. I don't want you to worry about this particular property as yet. This display property, we'll talk about it in our future tutorials, but just know that for your image to be displayed in the left, you need this. So just leave it set on display and let the value be block. So we'll move on to what we'll do next. Now we're going to create our margin to the left, and you put auto. So in some of our previous videos, we wrote a pixel count for our margin, but in this instance we're introducing a new one, which is auto. And what auto does is it automatically sends it to the middle when you set your margin left and your margin right to auto, and that's what we're going to see very shortly. So what we have done here is we'll set our margin left and our margin right to auto, and we're going to save this, and we'll refresh this page. Okay, and you see that your picture has come to the middle. It's looking much better now, and that is how you use your margin to move your image to wherever you want your image to be. So what we did here, we moved it from right to middle, or rather from left to the middle, using our margin left and our margin right set to auto. What we're going to do next now is we're going to create a bit of border around this, but first we'll create background for this. Okay, so we're just going to take our background color property, which is under our para 3, and simply just put it copy and paste it down here. Okay, and we're going to save this, and I'll show you what happens next. We'll save this, and you see nothing is showing, right? You cannot see your picture, you cannot see any background, right? Because that is because the background is set to the exact size of your picture. So how do you then create the background in order for it to show? The property you use is padding. We're going to be creating some padding. Simply type padding, you put your semicolon, and we set our padding to 25 pixels. End it up with your semicolon, and we'll save this, and we'll hit refresh, and yes, you see that there's a beautiful background now behind our image. That's how you create background. And what we're going to do next is we're going to create some border property for our image. And how you do that is simply we have done border already, so we're simply just going to copy our border property that we had worked on in paragraph 3, which is this border width, border color, and border style. And we're going to copy that and simply paste it down here, so we don't have to keep typing over. And we set our border width to 5 pixels, we set our border color to gray, and we set our border style to solid. And we're simply just going to save this, and we'll hit refresh. Okay, and you have your border for your picture. Okay, good. I think I want to change this border color. Okay, so let me use a different color for our border color there. I think I'd like to go with a darker version of but let's say, let me just use blue. So we'll put blue there, and we'll save this up. We hit refresh, and look at that. Okay, it's much better now. I think I prefer it this way. Okay, so this is how you style your image using the block model in CSS. That should do it for this video. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you in our next tutorial.